Foolish sinner, I sentence you to cast your screams unto the heaven. Within this dragon's jaw born from my flesh, become an offering to the gods as you howl in pain. Blood sacrifice!
Just everything about this scene was absolutely freaking amazing. This is my review of Rising the Shield Hero, episode 20. So, after the spell is cast, there is just this moment of hesitation, and then the shield goes dark, and you wonder, what happened? Did he run out of mana? Did he not meet the requirements to cast this spell? What is he gonna do? And all this is running through your head, and then he explodes. Blood pours out of him, and everyone is horrified, like, oh my god, what happened? Is this part of the spell? Did he lose control? This is what happens when you use rage mode too much? And then the Pope basically explains he was consumed by his own power, and you think, oh, so this is what happens when you can't handle rage mode. Oh my god, what's he gonna do? Are the others gonna back him up? What's gonna happen? And then the Pope breaks free, and all hope seems lost, but you start to notice, hey, what's going on with that blood? It looks a little weird. It seems to be absorbing into the ground. Some kind of summoning. And then it happens. The blood shoots out of the ground, and you just see parts of this horrific bear trap that's come to life and is attacking the Pope. And this thing is huge and terrifying, and I can't even begin to describe it properly. And then it happens. The replica weapon shatters. And in this moment, the Pope is horrified. The Pope realizes, I'm not God's apostle. God isn't going to protect me. I'm going to die! He's chomped, and blood just pours to the ground. The Pope is sacrificed by the devil of the shield. And then we just get one last shot of this gigantic monstrosity before it falls into the ground in an explosion of blood. And just Jesus freaking Christ, this scene was absolutely unbelievably amazing. Everything about it for just a straight 2 minutes had me screaming my head off. I am wondering though, change of topic a little bit, the replica weapon was technically eaten by the blood sacrifice. Does that count as the shield hero absorbing it? Or is it still out there, and can the others all grab a piece and absorb it too, which would make them way, way stronger? I'm not sure about that, but I'm curious. Anyway, next we see the Queen. Her whole huge army is there, waving their flags. And then we see, wow, the Queen. And I'm not gonna lie, she is an impressive woman. And yet, even here, she says she has become old, which is kind of terrifying because this spell she cast, as source of thy power, the Queen orders thee to decipher the laws of creation, surround my target in a cage of ice and capture him. This feels powerful. I mean, you've seen other people cast spells, which don't really seem to do much, but even compared to the Shield Hero's ultimate spells, this still has an air of power to it. It's like the entire world suddenly stops to listen to her. Like, she's not just asking the world to do things, she's ordering the world to change to her whim. And what's even more, she's able to freeze the Pope while he's inside the cathedral. There's a whole army of supporters right outside the cage, doing their best to keep him safe, and yet her magic was able to overcome all of them. I do think this one line is a little weird, though. Please survive just a little longer. Shield Hero and Melty. Yeah, your other daughter's there. As are 3 other heroes. And Raph and Philo, I doubt you care too much about them. She has a lot of love for the Shield Hero. I'm very curious about that. I have this weird theory that next week she's going to start openly flirting with the Shield Hero in front of her husband, and it's just going to be really awkward and absolutely hilarious. Anyway, now we come to a very special segment of each of my reviews. Spear Hero Stupidity. Even after all this, he's still saying, hey, can't your shield do something about this? I mean, you're overpowered, which, I mean, even the others just get in on afterwards. They're like, yeah, we're underleveled, and yet you're keeping up with us. That's because your shield is just too amazing. I know it's not specifically a Spear Hero, but I'm counting him in on this just because all 3 of them are freaking morons. They don't know how to use their weapons whatsoever, and what makes it even worse is they've played this game before. They've done the whole VR, MMORPG, RPG, whatever, and played through this game, and yet they really don't know how it works. They don't know how to make best use of their weapons, and they're just complaining the shield hero is overpowered. I mean, yeah, his rage mode's overpowered, but he's only used that like twice. He beat Spear Hero's entire party without using it. So he's just better than you. I'm sorry, guys, but he is just better at using his weapons, better at thinking through strategies, better at everything than you are. Here we even see it again. They're all just using the same attacks over and over again. I think we saw maybe 2 spells from each of them this entire fight. Well, Nefumi, I think, cast like 6. They need to learn better spells or make better use of the spells they have. And then, oh my god, this line. Please don't tell me you really became the devil of the shield. A few things wrong with that. Mainly, you're still bad-mouthing him, which, great. And another thing, if he really did become the devil of the shield, would you really want to be the one that tells him that? Would you really want to say that to him? I am absolutely amazed Nefumi didn't kill him right here and now, or just, like, knock him back 20 feet. I'm absolutely amazed. I guess his rage is, solely focused on the Pope, but still. Even when he says what everyone's thinking, it just sounds hollow. We need to prove that friendship and strong bonds will always prevail. Yeah, we just saw that proven when the other 3 got Nefumi out of rage mode, but it still just sounds so shallow and stupid coming from you. In this last line. Did we win? Yeah, that's what happens when your opponent explodes into a pool of blood. It means you won. This next I just loved. Raftalia, a demi-human who the church teaches is less than a human. Knock the Pope back. I just love that. I mean, mine alone was pissed off when Raftalia managed to cut her twice. Can you imagine how mad she would have been, before all this, if she'd seen a demi-human knock back the Pope? That would have been funny. Oh god, just this line. You're coming too, Spear Hero. He's like, what do you mean? And then he just drags him in Philo's teeth all the way up to the Pope, just so we can attack him. I guess it's like a counter spell, whatever. I just thought this whole him carrying him in Philo's teeth was absolutely hilarious. I loved it. Alright, then we come to probably the worst scene in the entire episode. Melty saves mine! Why? Why? Your sister has literally tried to kill you like 10 times this month. And yet here you're deciding to save her? I mean, do you really think you need her in this fight that much? I'm sure the rest of you can handle it on your own. So then, yeah, as I figured, the mana supply has definitely become an issue. And I really thought this is how the battle was going to end, He just keeps going until they're all dead or barely able to walk or whatever. But even though that didn't happen, they're still dying. I'm pretty sure at least a few of these people are dead. And the Pope does this whole thing of perishing as a martyr here is a great honor, which, again, he's really following, real-life popes in this aspect. During the Crusades, anyone who fights in the Crusades will freely get into heaven. I mean, why not? Sure, okay. And people believed him, because he's the freaking Pope. I mean, even here, his bishop, or whatever he is horrified by this. I think he's starting to realize in this moment, yeah, I'm following the wrong guy, aren't I? You're not actually from God, but, his faith overcomes and he decides, let's keep going, people. The Pope doesn't care if you die, and I guess I don't either. Alright. Then to overcome the ultimate attack, Shield Hero goes full rage mode. The dragon explaining it's both of their rage combined that's causing this. Though I'm a little irked by this line, where he says, your rage puts even mine to shame. I mean, didn't we see the dragon do a whole thing last time where he literally said, how can you possibly understand the depths of my rage? I was killed by a mere human. For a dragon, this is the greatest dishonor. And now he's saying, wow, dude, you're even angrier than I am. Seriously? What happened to your dragon pride or whatever? So then he kind of loses the battle against his rage and he decides, I'm going to burn everything to the ground, which, I mean, that'll kill mine, so I'm okay with that plan. But then, oh my god, this line. This one scene was just, oh god, it almost made me cry. Master, do you really hate everything? Just a cute little Philo looking up at him and making him question everything he's thought up to this point was just, oh my god, that was so adorable. Then we get a little fast forward of all of them with their time with the shield hero. And he remembers that he's on this journey to protect his friends. I do think it's a little weird Melty's here. I'm just going to say this. Because I know she's part of the party, and I've joked before she's part of Shield Hero's harem, but she's not been with him that long compared to the other two, and I just feel like she got a little too much screen time here and trying to help him overcome his rage. But, they all say their things. Philo says she's going to eat up all his negative emotions. Melty says she's going to share in his pain, which, whatever. But then, oh my god, just Raphtalia's line here. I'll cut through all your sorrow. After all, I am your sword. I mean, this was just absolutely amazing, and I loved it. I mean, that fits so well with, the metaphor she's been going with as his sword. She's not just there to fight his battles, but to fight for him, to help him through whatever life may bring. And I think all of us thought she was going in for a kiss here. I know the shippers kind of went crazy. I'm not overly fond of this ship, just because, he basically raised her as his daughter. But whatever. Anyway, then he comes back to his senses and he realized that he burned all of them with cursed flames, which I am curious how much damage that's going to do, because the Pope said before, curses are meaningless within this cathedral, because it's hollow ground. So does that mean that those are just regular burns on them, or they're still, cursed burns, and next episode they're going to have to deal with them? Of course, then we get the reminder again, we are in the middle of battle. We can't keep having these long conversations or whatever while we're in the middle of battle. I know he's taking a long time to charge, but still. Oh my god, this line. This line was something else. Now Fumi asks for help, and he even bows to the other heroes. He bows to those who have made his life a living hell. I mean, this is really a sign of how far he's come. In the past, he wouldn't even talk to the heroes because his pride and his anger got in the way, but here, he's willing to overcome all that because he knows he's here to protect his friends, those he's come to think of as his family, and even if it cost him his pride, even if it cost him his honor, even if it cost him everything, he will protect them, no matter what. That's just a really great scene, I think. And the Pope, though, he seems to recognize the shield. I'm not sure why. I mean, it's the rage, curse mode, shield, whatever. But he recognizes it as something dangerous or something terrifying. I'm sure the Pope knows more about this whole scenario than he's really bothered to explain. But maybe, next episode they'll find the records and they can go through everything, find out the truth about the church and how it started and all that. I just love this scene. Now, Fumi's basically ordering everyone around, which I've said since last wave is basically what he has to do. I mean, they're too stupid to come up with good strategies on their own. He needs to order them. He's the commander-in-chief. He's the leader of their party, telling them what to do, how to do it, how to team up properly. I just love the original opening song is playing during all this. It got me so hyped and I was just screaming the whole time. It was amazing. I love this combo attack with Raphtali and the sword hero. Her basically hiding his presence so the Pope didn't see him. And he explodes into blood. A lot of blood this episode, I gotta say. And oh my god, this spell was absolutely amazing. Second favorite in the whole episode. As source of thy power, the shield hero and I order thee, decipher laws of creation, consume the flame and give me power. Wrath fire, which, oh my god, I loved it. He literally ate the Pope's spell, turned it into a freaking dragon, and then spit it back at the Pope. Of course, then people stop listening, and when he tells them, don't attack, there's something wrong going on. And the Pope manages to use counterspells, which makes sense. They say it's an advanced level spell, so clearly the weapon has more abilities than we've seen. And then he goes arrow mode, and the whole room turns into a kaleidoscope. Which, anyone remembers early Naruto? That's basically was Haku's power, with the ice mirrors. This is it, but way more visual. Anyway, yeah, then they kill the Pope. And all the followers are there, weeping and mourning. Some of them seem to realize, hey, my friend's dead. I know the Pope's dead and that's sad, but my friend's also dead. Should we do something about that? Oh yeah, speaking of which, now Fumi's also basically dead. He basically gave up all of his blood to use that spell, which is probably going to keep him from doing it again down the road. I'm just saying. Really, at least one of you is a healer. I think Raphtali learned a few healing spells somewhere along the way. I know Melty has. And yet they're just, crying over him like, oh, shield hero, there's nothing we can do. I'm like, you could try. I mean, I'm sure there's something you could do. I mean, you have potions. You try any of those? And the queen announces she won't let the shield hero die, which I just loved. But I really have to pause here for a second and look around. Where the freak is mine? I don't recall seeing her for quite a while in that battle. I mean, where the heck did she go? Did she run away? I think she might have literally run away once she realized her mother was there. And the queen shows up and basically announces that she's here to help. Myrelia? Merelia? I honestly don't know how to pronounce that. And the shield hero just looks at her. This is something I meant to mention earlier. I'm going to mention it now. What I found really impressive about the queen was that she marched with her soldiers into battle. I mean, the king's just sitting on his ass while everything's going on. She marched headfirst with her soldiers to fight this pope who had this amazing power. Because as she said, the fate of the entire world rested on this fight. Sorry I forgot to mention that earlier, but it just really impressed me. It reminded me of Lelouch v. Britannia. A true king should lead his soldiers into battle. And just, oh my god, I could not stop laughing when I saw the title for next episode. Now Fumi's Triumphant Return. Now Fumi's Triumphant Return. I just can't freaking wait for next week. Oh my god. I'm fairly certain that's going to be him. You're literally, marching into the capital with hand in hand with the queen as the people cheer him on. I mean, I know that, king's not going to be happy about that, but he can't really go against his wife. So he's basically screwed. Hell, he might even have to watch the queen openly flirt with the shield hero. I could certainly see her doing that, if not just to, make him feel more comfortable in their capital and not want to seek out revenge against all of them. Like I said, I'm pretty sure mine ran away, but we could still end up seeing her next week as the queen questions all of her decisions. That'd be amazing. Oh god, I absolutely love that. And, what's more, we could finally see the class upgrades! We've been waiting so long to get those. It could finally be next week. Also, what about the rest of Shield Hero's party? I mean, yeah, we have these three over here. Don't you remember the other people he was fighting with in the last wave? What about them? They could show up. I mean, I'm assuming they were seen as traitors and they had to flee the capital, but they could return. I think Granny could have been, training them this whole time, helping them boost their levels. They could all be ready for a class upgrade. Seriously, we get like 10 class upgrades next episode. That would be so amazing! I mean, everything else, Shield Hero finally gained Vindication. That's gonna feel nice. Hell, might even get the king kneel to the Shield Hero. That would just blow my mind. But the class upgrades are what I'm really excited for, because that would just really change how the fighting goes moving forward. I'd love it. Also, we have 5 episodes left, which I'm a little concerned about, because this Pope definitely screamed final boss material. Transforming weapon, multiple stages, blah blah blah. That's all final boss level. Which makes me think there's going to be another wave before everything's said and done. Which would also mean that they're finally fighting, in 4 separate regions. They're fighting the waves everywhere, and that's somehow going to help them together. I'm really not sure how that's going to work, but I want to see it. Yes, Victoria could definitely, step in and help some of them with the waves. That'd be interesting. So yeah, that's definitely next week. I'm super excited for it. Just Shield Hero getting the vindication he needs. Shield Hero being saved by the Queen. Shield Hero having the King kneel to him. Shield Hero getting the class upgrades. That's all I want from next episode, and we get that. Hell, it might even be a better episode than this one. That's really saying something, because this episode was absolutely amazing. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments section down below. How are the people going to react to the Shield Hero literally killing the Pope? Be sure to like and subscribe, and until next week,